Hey, have you ever wanted to style a unordered list in a flex or a flex box? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. We can make it kind of look like this, and we'll get started. So I'm going to take off this CSS, and we'll see how it really looks. Okay, there you go. CSS is gone. So this is the HTML that is displaying this. This is the code that makes this happen. So UL class, and then we gave it this class of flexUL. And then we open up our UL, and then we're going to start listing out our items. So LI is list item, UL is unordered list. An ordered list would be OL, so that would give it numbers. And then, so you're just going to open it up, close, put in whatever text, could be images as well. Okay, so yeah, so this is our list that we're going to start with. The first thing that we're going to do is start to write out our CSS. So flex, and again, this is I'm using Elementor. This allows me to make like an HTML widget or element, and then do some CSS and see it in real time as I'm making the changes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is actually let's start to clean up the UL first. So these are some things that you need to do by standard or as a standard to start displaying it the way that I was showing you. So list style type none, that got rid of the dots. See how I started to type something else in? Even if you have a UL, it's doing the numbers. You can do that with CSS, whatever list style type you want. You can also give this images if you wanted to give it a specific image. But we're going to display none. I'll show you how to do that in another video. Okay, list style type none. And then we're going to do padding, because this will typically have padding. So padding 0. Maybe I have that written somewhere else, but typically these items are going to be padded over. Maybe I have that somewhere else on my site, but you're going to want to put those in, or it's going to be, unless you want it padded over, but it pads over the entire list of items. Okay, so now let's start to display flex. And display flex is, there's a bunch of different types of displays. There's display block, there's display inline, there's display inline block, there's display grid, inline grid, flex box. There's so many different types of displays. We're going to be doing flex right now, and flex allows for your elements within the wrapper. And in this case, it's the UL, which is the wrapper around all of this, to be flexed based on some parameters that you give it. So it could be flexed horizontally, flexed vertically, and then you can also give specific parameters to each one of these items within, so you can display them really cool. It's pretty similar to grid, where let me just kind of show you. So flex, we'll do this. So see how they're next, instead of in a column like this, they put them in a row. And flex is one way to do that. You can also do that with grid. However, it won't do anything. See, it doesn't do anything unless I give it more specifications. Right out of the box, you can flex items to the side. Now, it doesn't look great, but we'll add a few other things and make this look a little bit better. Okay, so let's go back to that. So flex, we're doing display flex, and then let's put it back to the way that we had it. So I know this was what it looked like before, but we're going to give it a direction. And the reason I like to use flex, so right now it's in flex direction row. It's all in a row. Before I do that, let me show you what you could do to fix this row. So flex, let's do flex wrap, And this is going to make the flex wrap instead of staying in one line. It's trying to make it all fit within one line. I can wrap it. Now it's all in different lines, but they're together. The way to separate those, you can either do it on these elements like these LIs, or you can actually do it on the parent, the UL. This one right here we can do it on. And we can add something called gap. And this works for both flex and it just works for flex and grid, I believe. So flex or gap and then 10. See how it gave it that space? And you can make that as much as you want. So but we're just going to do 10 right now. Actually, we'll do 20. And then I think the original one I showed you, we did display column. So this is standard in row, but we're going to display it in a column. So it actually puts it in this line right here. And the gap also is in between each one of these. So if I put this down, you'll see they go together, but there's still some space because the LIs actually have a little bit of space in them, some vertical space. The text within the LI has space. Each font family has its own kind of line height and like natural padding that comes with it inherently. All right, so column. Okay, so that's all we need for UL right now. Now let's open up some more CSS, and we're going to identify the LIs. Or we're saying anything within this, or this is the parent element, and we want to assign some style to the LIs within this. So this is parent space, and then it could be an element or it could be another class. Like if I gave a class to each one of these, in this case I don't need to, but if I wanted to add a class, I could to each one of the LIs, but you really don't have to in this case. Okay, so let's start off with giving some padding, 12 pixels by 20 pixels. And so there's some more space there. And then let's do text transform, and let's do capitalize so everything is uniform. I just like to use, sometimes I like to use that font size, especially if you're dealing with data that you didn't put in. For instance, I'm changing the font size here. And let's do background white. So the text was like a gray, so you can barely see it. So let's change the color. That's the color of the text to black. So that's a little bit better. And then let's give it a font weight of, you can do bold, or you can also do like 100, which is light, 200, 300, 400 is probably standard typically, 5 is medium-ish, 600, it depends on the font, 600 is like semi-bold, and then 7, 8, 9, 800, 900 would be like ultra bold. So it's bolder than bold. Or black, it could be called black. It depends on the font. So a safe bet, they always have normal and bold, but a safe bet would be like 600, 700 you can use. Okay, so let's do border radius. I'm running out of time here. 10 minutes. Okay, so 500 pixels. We're going to give it that. And then let's do some hover effects on this. So if I UL, and then LI, and then hover pseudo class. And the only thing that we're going to do here is change the background. Just a real quick tutorial for you guys. And then I'm going to change it to FFF, 3 Fs, 4, 5, 6 Fs, and then CC. That's going to give me like a lighter, like an opaque white. Cool. All right, so I hope this video helps. You understand flexes a little bit more. We can go in way more detail, but this is an LI flex displayed inline column. All right, my name is Justin Young. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you soon.